Hey everybody, Mary Meston, empoweredsolutionsgroup.com or at Empowered Group or Mary Meston. So I'm back at you for Wisdom Wednesday. What I wanted to share with you today is the third session in a three-part series or Wednesday Wisdom series that I'm sharing with you about an upcoming program I'm launching, leveraging the work I do with my current clients. And it's all about the big reset. I think we've heard about the fact that we are hearing that people are leaving their work, people don't want to go back in the office, things are changing. So here is a wonderful opportunity for many that if you were stuck or you're seeking something new, this is a great time. I'm calling it the big read. I've used that phrase as well. So this is the third part of that series. We're going to talk about persist. As a quick reminder, the first one was about the importance of pausing, basically taking stock of who you are, where you're at, taking a breath, and doing some pre-planning before you go off on that journey or run to the next job or thing. And then we talked about pivoting, and pivoting was about getting more clear and setting that path for your journey. So today, and we talked about tools and techniques. Today, we're going to talk about persist. And persist does not sound like the slog that you think you're hearing. Persist is really about giving you the tools that now that you're really clear on the journey you want to take and you know those next steps, is give you the tools to get there. And we're going to talk about 4 things that are critically important. And those 4 things are courage. And courage actually goes with confidence. We can put those two together. The art of influencing, the art of productivity, and also the art of self-care or managing your energy so you can do all this. And we're actually going to be wrapping this 3-part series kind of with the end in mind, or where we started at the beginning, where we talked about the importance of self-care and energy. So that's where we end. But let's first get to the most important thing I see with my clients on their path, on the journey to succeed and to sustain or persist, is the art of courage or confidence. And I'm going to give you 2 techniques in this course that's coming up. And let me give you a preview today on what those are. So courage, many people quickly go, well, courage is not having fear. And that's completely, I don't agree with that. I mean, courage is acting despite fear such that you gain confidence. We aren't necessarily born immediately with confidence. Think about it when you learn to walk. It was a long time ago, but remember, you tried, fell. Eventually, through trial and practice and some bumps and bruises, actually you learned and were confident in walking. So that's what we're going to talk about, the art of courage. So 2 things I teach in this particular program and with all of my clients is called the circle of fear. And the circle of fear basically is about sizing your fear, because a lot of people aren't clear on what's stopping them, and it's often a fear. And sometimes it isn't necessarily a big, scary tiger is coming to get you. It could be that little niggling thought that, yeah, imposter syndrome, I'm not good enough, I'm not worth it. Oh, or the worry syndrome of, oh, what if this goes wrong? So we're going to talk about first kind of scaling your fear. Let me show you this. And it will probably be a little cuter in our actual online course, but this gives you a diagram here. And what we talk about is the circle of courage. And basically, this is our comfort zone when we think this is the stuff we do every day. Then we talk about the discomfort zone. That's where you kind of stretch, right? Then this is the high anxiety zone. It's like, oh my gosh. And this dotted line is your fear line. And so part of this course, we're going to talk about, how do you stretch and how to stretch so that you can expand your fear line. So many of us, if all of a sudden somebody says, just do it, get over it, they want us to go from comfort to fear, and we're going to stop ourselves. Okay. So we talk about how to stretch and change our mindset and grow into that. So it's a circle of courage. That's one technique we're going to learn. Then we're also going to talk, and you heard me mention that confidence doesn't just necessarily happen. I mean, if you're born confident, lovely, well, good for you. But think about it. Anything we've gained our confidence in is because we've practiced. And so it's a little expansion on that circle. Again, it's another circle. But we're talking about how if you're clear on where you want to go, and with courage, which you just saw, we talked about, you can become confident. And so it's a I call it the confidence catalyst. And what we do in that technique is really talk about basically really clear, and we've done a lot of that in the earlier sections, and then actually step through our fear. We actually become confident, and how it's a self-fulfilling cycle. So there's a couple techniques. So, in PERSIST, we're going to talk about courage and confidence. It's a huge module. Everyone loves it, and there's so much to be gained. What else we're going to talk about is the art of influence. And I remember when I was younger in my career, trying to learn how do you influence people, right? When you have a position over someone or you can force someone, it's not so hard to influence. Influence is when you don't have positional power, and it's called indirect. It's impacting another's character or behavior or choices, right? So we're going to talk about influence model, and here's a really simple model. Sorry, it's in black and white, but I think it shows it better here. And it's a really simple influence model where we talk about we can either show people and being influenced by our actions and behaviors. We actually can then teach and help people think differently. This is all about mind and mindset and appealing to thoughts. And then we talk about challenging perspective. This gets a little more to emotions and beliefs and values. So we talk about this triangular model, and influence is actually perfecting the art of using any and all of these and adapting and being flexible. And for those of you that don't know adult learning theory, it's actually, if you think about it, it's kinesthetic, it's mindset, and it's auditory. It's really very cool. So that's a technique that we talk when we talk about influence. And I give you some thoughts and questions and ways to improve your influence. So we talked about the importance of courage, confidence, influence, because we're persisting on that path, because we've now scripted, we really want to do something. We have the end in mind. I'm going to get there. Well, it's all, aside from having courage to act, knowing how to influence others and yourself, actually, because you influence your mind. If you've watched the Mindset series on the various words we say to ourselves that we shouldn't be saying, it's a clue. It's the art of productivity. And the productivity isn't necessarily doing more and more and more in the 24/7, by 4, by 8. No. Productivity is about really focusing on those 20% that get you 80%. And in that particular section, we're going to talk about productivity and actually give you kind of a one-page productivity planner that will talk through this. And basically, it's about being clear on your priorities. Again, the idea of clarity, right? And then the projects you need to move forward. And it's about baby steps, continuous steps. Make a 1% difference every day, and you're going to have 365% at the end of the year, right? And then we're going to talk about the people you're influencing. So this is a really cool tool that comes with the packet. And I actually think I have it on my website for free. If not, I will hook it up there so people can grab it. And that's about the art of productivity. Because what I encourage people to do is not do more necessarily. It's do what matters, right? And that's exactly what we're going to teach you to do. And then that fourth thing. So now we've learned all those tools and techniques. We've been through this series. So the importance and the tools to keep you persisting is, acting with courage. It's influencing others successfully. It's doing what matters, being productive. And all of that, you need to take care of yourself so that you can do that. And that's where it brings me back to managing your health and your energy. I mean, your health being your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your financial health. All of that matters. And we're talking about you being a whole person. And I coach to the whole person because I think we all know if you're not feeling well, or you don't have the energy, or you're telling yourself you don't have the energy, it's just none of this other stuff's going to happen, right? So we'll talk a little bit and give you some tools and techniques, some links to some great ideas depending on what your either mental mind challenge might be or your health challenge. So that's a little bit all about the importance of persisting. And I think we all know it's important. And persist can be a really funky word, and I don't mean to freak people out and scare you. It's not the slog that it sounds, but it is about taking actions, taking that 1% daily that matters, consistency matters, and focusing on what matters. So that's all what persistence is about. And I encourage you to think about those topics. If you have any questions for me, like more information, DM me, reach me, go to the website, email me. I'll be as quick as I can. I try to be a 24-hour turnaround, except for holidays. Stay productive, but not too crazy. And I look forward to you either learning more about this program, joining me in the program. We'll definitely talk. It's not quite ready to launch yet, but I will let you know. And I hope to see all of you there. Thanks so much. Mary Meston, Empowered Solutions, empowering your best you.